Welcome back to... No, I'm kidding. That's kind of how I feel, though. Welcome back to Dumb and Broke. I'm Bryan.
And I'm Chelsea.
And I'm operating on 2.5 hours of sleep.
Wow!
No, seriously, though. Today has been rough because as mentioned last week, I went to Florida over the weekend and I was supposed to get home at like 10 p.m. last night, but my flight, like everyone else's flights this weekend, just kept getting delayed and delayed. We didn't even leave till 2 a.m. And I was supposed to land in LaGuardia, which is only 15 minutes from us. But apparently LaGuardia closes at a certain time. So they were like, we're landing in JFK, which is like a 35.
BFE.
Yeah. So we landed at 4:30, got in my apartment at 5:30, asleep by 6, had to be up at 8:30. So I'm like, I'm okay.
So I'm fine. Everything's fine.
So if the energy's low, blame it on Chelsea.
It's so wild to me that everyone has been having their flights delayed, just specifically into New York, because like it hasn't even, like, weather hasn't been bad.
I know. I kept checking. I'm like, the weather was really bad in Vermont, which I guess is not that far, and like, I guess I guess it's bad to get flights towards the end of the day because like if there's delays earlier in the day, it just like affects every single other flight afterwards.
Gotcha.
I guess. I don't know.
I can't even begin to understand like airplanes and
Right.
what goes on up there. So here I am like, it wasn't even bad weather. And there's probably so much more involved.
And trust me, I was freaking out about that because I was like, if there's bad weather, I don't want to fly because you know me, I can't handle turbulence. But it was like really one of the smoothest flights I've had. So thank God for that.
Great.
Yeah. How was your weekend?
It was good. I did we did a social with one of the gyms that I work at. So I got to hang out with some people that I really only see working out. We didn't really talk much, but there's a feast in our neighborhood that we walked through. We should go to that.
A feast?
It's called the Feast, but it's like a huge festival celebration, kind of like a fair. There's like literally carnival rides in the middle of the street.
I saw it on people I saw it on people's stories over the weekend. It's in Greenpoint?
It's either Greenpoint, Williamsburg, or like close.
That's fun.
But yeah, we just like randomly walked through it. But did that. Sunday I shot a gun for the first time. So
Okay.
yeah.
I'm scared of guns.
Honestly, same. I was very nervous. I was a lot more nervous than I thought. I think I went into it like, I'll be fine. And then I was holding it. My hands were shaking. But
Who'd you go with?
fuck you. Delete. Delete.
I'm just kidding. I meant to say, so you support the NRA?
It did ask for my NRA number. It was
Wait, really?
It did, but I don't have one. It was a wild experience because everyone there, or most of the people there, were foreign.
Sorry.
I hate you.
Okay.
Most of the people there were foreign.
Mm-hmm.
So they're just coming to America. It seemed like it was their first time in America, and that it was blowing my mind that it was like this was on their list. It's on my list. I'm going to go to America and I'm going to shoot a gun. And they were like wild about it.
That probably is a thing.
That is insane.
Like I have old coworkers that are based like in Europe and Asia, and they always make those jokes. They're like, did another school shooting happen today? And it's like, that's what they think of us though. Like they think of us as just like crazy gun people, and they're not wrong.
Not entirely.
Like I think there was another a mass shooting in like Cleveland or somewhere in like middle of America the other day. And it's so sad that it's just like not shocking. You know what I mean? I'm
right.
Like, oh, another shooting. It's just like, it doesn't have that same shock value as it used to.
Yeah. Yikes. Well, I don't want to be on that side of support, but it's just saying.
How was it though?
It was cool. It was it was way harder than I thought.
Yeah, I've never shot a gun. I don't know if I ever really want to. I like genuinely am afraid of them. But like I hear like, were you shooting like handguns or was it like?
I did one of both.
Oh, okay.
So it was a handgun and a rifle. This sounds like very Texan of me.
Very,
So.
baby, lock them doors. But I hear like when you shoot a gun, it's like the impact, like it kind of like jolts you back. Did that happen?
I don't think so. It wasn't one of those.
You're so strong.
I'm so strong
Yeah.
and tough. And I was also just gripping it with my life. Yeah.
Well, that's exciting.
This grip strength. You wouldn't believe.
Wow. I had a pretty wholesome weekend. Because when I go to Florida, I have to like, I didn't mean to sound like the way I just sounded. When I go to Florida, I see family, I see friends, I see a bunch of babies, and it's nice to like, because I only go like a couple times a year, but so it's pretty wholesome, but it was also tiring because I drove a lot, which is also kind of fun. But I got to see my grandma, and
Aww.
she's 95 years old, and
She's with it.
she really is with it, and I can confidently say that I'm her favorite grandchild. Sorry if any cousins are listening. I found out that a cousin does listen to the podcast. And she
Great.
says she has to like listen to it away from her kids because apparently our podcast is inappropriate. It is.
I have said a curse word here or there.
Yeah. And we, some of the topics we talk about. I mean, we've been talking
probably.
about nipples the last couple of weeks. So
Yeah. Fair.
But I love my grandma so much. And I feel like we should cherish grandmothers.
Yeah. Let's get her on the pod.
Oh my God, I would love that. She's so funny. My grandma's so freaking funny. She always says like, she's like, Bryan, I'm not passing away until you meet someone. I'm like, well, mama, I call her mom. I'm like, well, you're going to be living forever then because it's not looking too good for me.
Oh.
Yeah.
You're still in your 20s.
I kind of am. No, I am in my 20s. Probably for like 3 or 4 more podcasts. I'm in my 20s.
I mean, technically, you did start your 30th year on your last.
I hate that shit.
Yeah.
Okay, then you're 40 then.
Just tack on. Oh, well, you're just, yeah, okay. All right, we're done there.
But is your grandma still with us?
She's one of the dead that I speak to.
Yeah, I was thinking that. You're like, I don't really have any dead people.
No, actually, yes. No, yes.
No, it's a yes.
So my mom's mom is around. She's with it. My dad's mom died when he was pretty young, but my grandpa remarried, and so she's been my nanny for ever.
Are you close with them?
Yeah. I'm actually going to see them next weekend.
Oh, yeah.
So we're going to I'm going to Texas. I'm going to go to Abilene to see my mom, all the nieces and nephews, and then we're going to go to East Texas to see. Yeah. And that's the backwoods.
Do you like kids?
Yeah.
I feel like you're good with kids.
I like kids.
I do too, but I get so tired and I just like,
There is a moment where it hits and we're just like, I think about like my sisters and their kids where I'm like, you guys are with them all the time though.
like I can't.
I want 5 minutes right now, but you guys can't have 5 minutes ever. And that blows my mind. It makes me nervous.
I don't know how they do it. And I also don't know why they do it.
Well, you kind of have to.
I know.
At the point where, I mean, once you got them,
I know. And then
you're locked in.
And then I guess you really love them. They're yours. So it like,
Yeah, or at least you.
I guess you love them.
Yeah. You're committed. You're committed to that.
Yeah. It's just wild to me because it's a lot of work. And I'm like, almost everyone does this. And it's like, I'm not willing to do that much work. So yeah, I feel like as I'm getting older, the less and less I want kids.
I don't think
the more I'm around kids, the less I want them.
I still think I want.
Yeah.
Not a lot.
Mm-hmm. You don't want them
Maybe
a lot? You
couple.
don't want a lot of kids?
I don't want a lot of kids.
Yeah.
I'd take a couple.
Take a couple. So one of my favorite parts of my trip in Florida was actually just being in the car and driving because I drove to Orlando from Tampa, which was 2 hours back and forth. And the reason why it was my favorite part is because an album came out on Friday.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, I can't even believe that it's been this long since we've I mean, we've been on for 9 minutes and haven't even brought it up.
I know. I feel like we bring up Taylor Swift like almost every podcast because how could you not? No, but like seriously, like I feel like this is the worst time to be a Taylor Swift hater because you can't avoid her. She is everywhere. I think she's taking over the world.
That is one of somebody submitted a controversial opinion that said Taylor Swift is overrated. And I mean, some of the controversial opinions today, which we'll get to more of those later, but I feel like a couple of them were just like trying to get to us.
Yeah. I think we've gone that one before and we've talked about it, but I'm happy to revisit that one.
But anyway, let's just talk about her new album.
Stay tuned for more on that. But yeah, so Speak Now, Taylor's version came out, and I know that's like, you love that album.
I think it's my number one.
It's your number one.
Well, it's up there.
Yeah. Why? Why is it your number one?
I don't know that it beats out Evermore and Folklore for me, but it's up there.
Yeah.
It's up there.
It's really fun for me because I feel like I've mentioned this before, but I consider myself a new Swiftie. I became a Taylor Swift fan because of Folklore and Evermore. So that's only 2020. And then I went back and listened to a lot of her other stuff. But one of the albums I just like never could get into was Speak Now. Like I would try, like I know like the few hits that came from that, like Back to December, Mean,
Enchanted.
I didn't really know Enchanted. Mm-hmm. I knew Mean and Back to December before I got into her in 2020. I did not know Enchanted until recent years.
Oh.
But yeah, but when Taylor's version came out the other day, I did know that one. I probably knew like 3 or 4 songs from that album. So it was really exciting for me because it's like a brand new album. Like all new music essentially. So it's like,
and the vault tracks.
Plus the vault tracks, which is great for people who are like day one Taylor stans, that they get 6 completely new songs. And I don't know how, but the vault tracks always seem to be like the best. Like on all of her re-recordings, like Red, I almost only listen to the vault tracks. Fearless, the vault tracks are great, and these ones are like my favorite so far.
She's got some hidden bangers.
She really does. But yeah, so I listened to it all the way from 1 to 20?
Yeah.
And I really liked it. I wouldn't put it up there. I still wouldn't put it up there. And I think I get why people like you really, really like it because you listen to it.
Tell me more.
Because you listened to it when it came out.
Oh,
so
okay.
Now you listen to it and it probably gives you like nostalgia, right? Like,
well, yeah, because it was, what year was?
2010.
2010. I was 20. We were 20, me and Taylor together.
Right. You literally grew up with her.
I literally grew up with her. She put words to my feelings. Mm-hmm. So yeah. And I related hard. And
that's a thing. I think people are starting to realize how good of a songwriter she is. But if you go back to albums from 2008 and 2010, she always was a good songwriter. Always. I mean, it's easy to be distracted by like, the kiddie bop songs that are catered to like radio, but she's like so good. And I'm like, I can't believe in 2010 she was writing these like hard hitting, sad songs with like so much hidden meanings. And I'm just so impressed. I'm more and more impressed with her by the day.
We love her.
Yeah. And I'm sorry that you hate her because she's not going anywhere. She's like killing the charts. Cruel Summer from like 2019 is like back on the charts.
That's wild.
Yeah.
That is wild.
But yeah. Did you listen to the whole album?
Oh, at least twice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I can't. So like Last Kiss, which is on like the regular album. Never really heard that before. It's like, I think it's one of my favorite Taylor Swift songs now.
It's great.
So good.
Yeah.
I recommend you guys listen to Last Kiss if you want to cry. It's one of her saddest songs. I think she said that it's one of the saddest songs she's ever written.
Oh.
Mm-hmm. Maybe it's just because like
now I just have to re-listen to it.
Yeah, I'll sing it. Ready? All right, that's the Taylor Swift,
and that's the hot goss.
I feel like this is the part where everyone just probably like fast forwards when they're like, "Oh, they mentioned Taylor Swift."
Nah. Here's your Swiftie news.
Am I giving the Jolly Green Giant right now? That's what I thought when I looked in the mirror today. I was like,
the Jolly Green Giant. I haven't heard that in a long time. You know what? That kind of green reminds me of like, it's giving Gumby.
The Jolly Green Giant.
That's not Gumby.
No, but
do you know who Gumby is?
Yeah, like the cartoon.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I feel like that just dated myself. Gen Z would not have any idea.
No, you don't look like the Jolly Green Giant. You look like Gumby. Thank you.
You're welcome.
I love green.
Green is
Why are we talking about the color green now? Wow, we're like,
and
this podcast is really going to shit these days. No, last week, like I remember was it last week? We were like, we finished the podcast and we were like,
not our best work.
Not our best work. But like I know you watched it back, I watched it back, and we were like, that was actually really fucking funny.
I'll spice it up. So one of my clients, he thought I called him a twat the other day with this just shows our relationship. Thought I called him a twat, and he was like, that's literally the worst thing that you could ever say to somebody. And I was like,
what?
No, I feel like cunt is worse. And I'm sorry if you're triggered by that word. Because I feel like a lot of people, that's like a word that they wouldn't say.
Right.
And he was like, no, absolutely not. He was like, in Brooklyn, like, twat is way worse. I was like, I feel totally comfortable saying twat out loud.
Yeah. You twat.
You twat. Yeah. I feel like I've said that as like a joke. And he was like, no way. And he was like, you should do it as a poll on your podcast. And I was like, okay. But I feel like, so it's twat versus cunt, which is more offensive.
There's no way.
There's no way.
I don't think twat
But
is that
I mean,
bad.
if you're, if you disagree, please let us know.
Does twat mean vagina?
I think they both mean vagina.
Yeah. No, cunt is definitely worst.
Yeah.
And I remember like back in the day, like that word was really, really bad to say. And it I think it still is if you like are calling someone.
Yeah. But now it's almost like a slang word for things.
Yeah. Especially like in gay lingo. I think I've covered this in like last season of the podcast, but like the gays use cunt as like a term of endearment. Like,
as they should.
In drag culture, it's like if something's cunt, it means it's like they're giving woman because women have.
Yeah. Here we are talking about the reproductive.
I guess not women, not all women have vaginas, but you know what I mean? But that's like, yeah.
And
that's enough about cunts. So today we put up the one of last week's controversial opinions on the Instagram for polling, and the one about would you rather lose both your arms or both your legs or one of each? And I'm the only person that voted arms. And I thought that was interesting. Like most of the people put legs, and like a good amount of people put one of each. And I found that interesting.
I just feel like you use your arms. Legs get you from point A to point B, but your arms are like, you like hold hands. You grab things.
Yeah.
It's like your arms are more functional.
I guess you're right. Yeah, because if you do get like, I don't know how prosthetic, like you could probably get prosthetic arms, but like, what about fingers?
Yeah. Your motor control.
Yeah. I guess I didn't put too much thought behind that one. I was just too busy trying to be different than.
Trying to be different.
Yeah.
Such a pick me.
So quirky. But I don't get the one arm and one leg because I feel like that'd be too difficult.
I don't feel like they were opposite. Like the two. I watched the video back of me twitching.
That was funny.
It did. I laughed a lot. I'm sorry.
I hadn't watched last week's. I only listened to it. But like I remember what was happening with that. So recommend watching that one.
Or at least just going to that part. Made me giggle.
I'm so glad that we fixed the audio issue too, because it's so much better.
Yeah, it is better.
I mean, I changed my audio settings before so that like both headphones matched the sound. But then I didn't realize when I did that, it was obviously doing it to everything that I was listening to. So music. So when I changed it back, because I don't need that setting anymore, my music sounded better. Because like I guess when they put music out, they do it knowing that, I don't know, I guess you get like some sounds on the left ear, some sounds on the right ears, you know. And I had it on a setting where like it was matching both, so I wasn't getting the full effect of music.
You are talking about technical things that I just went
Really?
right over my head. Yeah, I'm like, oh, cool. I get the concept, but like couldn't begin to know what you're talking
You're
about.
like, I have nothing to add to this
I have
conversation.
an absolute wow, neat, crazy.
That's
crazy.
I love that. I love that when people just like don't know like when to shut up, and you're just like, that's crazy, and they're just like going and going. I set you up. All you had to say was, that's crazy.
Sometimes the deadpan stare just works a little better, where I just sit there and I smile at you.
I feel like we're struggling today.
We are struggling.
We're struggling hardcore, and I'm so sorry.
We might have to do like another set just because to fill some time with something important.
Another set. I love it. I didn't know what you meant by that.
We get another set. Yeah, we'll fill it in.
Yeah, I don't know if people know, but we film in 10-minute increments. We're just so real here on the Dumb and Broke podcast.
We're so real, raw.
We just, we want you to like feel like you're sitting right here with us, and you know all the tea.
Well, originally it didn't start that way. It started that way because the camera heats up. So that's why we have to take a break.
Yeah.
But I wouldn't say we still don't really like plan anything.
No.
We'll like take a break and be like, okay, what are we even talking about?
Yeah,
okay.
Yeah. And one of us will be like,
where are we going?
Yeah. One of us will be like, okay, I got something. And then we'll just like start.
Yeah. But today is one of those days where neither of us have something. Mm-hmm. So just constant
words. These are just words.
These are words.
Thank you for listening.
Blessing your ears. Should we sing a song?
Sure.
Never thought we'd have a last
kiss. I love that song. She says something in that song. She says something like, we can plan for the weather, plan for something else, but I never plan for you to change your mind. I mean, it all rhymed in the song, but I was like, it's
crying alone.
Yeah. In the car.
Yeah.
I did.
Were you by yourself?
Yeah.
Ugh. Do you miss driving?
I do.
Ew.
You don't like driving?
No.
I enjoy it. I definitely, if I'm in a car, I would prefer to be driving it than being a passenger.
Could not be more the opposite. I would prefer to ride.
Yeah. No, but I do like driving, mainly because I love to jam to music, and like I do that in my apartment, but I'm always in the back of my mind is like, I know my entire building can hear me. There
is a meditative thing to driving and being in a car, I will say.
Yeah. So I like it. It was fun. And especially when you like have a whole album to listen to, that was fun.
True.
Although I like screaming and singing, and because I didn't know most of the songs, I couldn't really do that. I was like,
were you? Oh yeah, I just asked if you were with somebody. Nope, you weren't
by myself.
Nope.
Yeah, I do. When I'm by myself in the car, I'm lead singer, backup vocals. I do a little bit of choreo.
It's kind of like your karaoke performances. I've got to figure out a karaoke song.
Yeah, you do.
If you guys have favorites,
because I want to do that for my birthday. Because I'm claiming 2 birthday weekends since we're going to Vegas after my birthday.
Okay.
Like a few days after my birthday, and so the weekend before I want to do something, and I think I want to go to like Alligator Lounge, which is a karaoke bar. You know this, but and you have to go up for my birthday.
Oh, now I have rules. Oh, the pressure. Okay, so submit a song. I'll have people submit a song.
That'd actually be good to know. Like, what are people's like go-to karaoke songs?
Because I'm singing for the people.
Yeah. You kind of have one. You've done that rap song a couple times.
I know, but it just like doesn't, I get over it in the middle of it.
It's long.
It's so long. So long, and I get winded.
Sometimes rap songs are hard because they're like monotone. There's not a whole lot of range in it. So it's just like, la ba la ba la ba la ba. that's bad. Like, I should not have done that. But you know what I mean? Like,
if there's an episode we get canceled, it's this one.
I regret doing what I just did, but you know what I mean? Yeah. Unless it's like Nicki Minaj because she's animated, but.
Speaking of Nicki Minaj, do you think we'll see the Barbie movie?
I think we should.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's getting good reviews. I kind of have low expectations for it. Mm-hmm. But I'm down to go see it.
Yeah.
Did we talk about
we
just saw
the Jennifer Lawrence movie?
Did we talk about that last week?
I don't think so. I don't think it was. When did we go?
I don't know. I think we went last weekend. So I don't fucking know. No hard feelings.
Right. So good. So funny.
Funny. I saw someone I spoke to recently. They said they saw it and they did not find it funny.
I was laughing out loud.
Alina said she didn't find it funny.
I think we did talk about it because the man was on. I thought he was gonna. Maybe we just talked about it to our friends, but I thought a man sat next to me, an older gentleman on his own, and he just touched his belt one too many times for me. That made me feel like he was about to just masturbate directly next to me to Jennifer Lawrence with her tits out. But and he's just the funny and endearing part of him was that he was one of those that just like talks out loud throughout the entire movie, which some people probably hate that.
Yeah.
For me, it reminds me of my dad because he's in there and he's like, somebody's walking into a room, he's like, what? No! Ah! And just like the whole movie was like that, and I got a kick out of it.
He'd be like, something would happen. He'd be like, uh-oh.
Yeah.
Yeah, some of it was endearing, especially like, no, it was like an old man, so whatever.
Yeah.
Like, they can get away with more, but it was when like the sexual scenes were going on. I was like, I don't know what he's about to say.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
But love old people. I hope to be one day.
Fingers crossed.
Why do we both do that?
Sometimes it just feels nice to be touched.
Been a while.
Do you want to do controversial opinions?
Yes.
Okay, great.
The way you said that was.
Do you wanna?
Do you want to?
Yeah.
Yeah, let's get controversial. Should we kick it off with the one that we already mentioned?
Taylor Swift is overrated. Somebody's trying. What are you trying to do?
Right. Like, just come clean. We know who you are.
We know who you are.
I think I know who you are.
Oh.
I think so. Do we need to go into this?
No.
Yeah. Okay. Like, obviously we're not going to agree with that one.
Yeah.
And it's obviously not true.
Let's go to the next triggering one where I think somebody was coming for me.
Oh, yeah. Where'd you get the... Oh, yeah. Women who make their dog their entire personality.
What are you doing? What are you doing? Why are you coming at me like this? You saw it on my story where you also see my dog a lot. But maybe... And also, why has it got to be women? I feel like guys do this too.
That's a good point.
Guys, there's so many guys on the dating apps that just like only talk about their dog.
Yeah. I don't think you only talk about your dog. I don't think
so. I don't think my dog is my entire personality, but I do love my dog very, very much.
As you should.
Right.
And you post him here and there, but I don't think you flood your feed with Samson. I do find it kind of annoying if anyone is just like constantly posting dog stuff. And we've already covered this before. I find it annoying when people make Instagram accounts dedicated for their pets. I know you didn't. Wait, the Samson.
I am one of those.
I'm not following your dog.
It's not active, but he does get some good engagement when he posts.
I mean, it's cute. Like, the pictures are cute, but like, I'm not following it.
Fair.
But I think there are way worse things to make your entire personality than dogs. Like Taylor Swift. I feel like making Taylor Swift your entire personality is way more annoying than making a dog your personality. And that's coming from a Swiftie. Two Swifties.
And I'm just like, Why is it gotta be women? Mm-hmm. Why is it gotta be women?
That I didn't even like catch that at first.
And they added the end that's like less than. Like there's a greater
Yes.
than on the other side. I'm just like, ugh.
Yeah, like so.
I let my dog sue me.
I wonder if a man or a woman submitted that,
Who knows?
because I can see women thinking like, oh, it's so cute if like a guy, straight women thinking it's so cute if a guy like is obsessed with their dog.
I feel like guys use their dog.
Yeah,
Some guys.
I would. Sometimes I mean, Tegan has offered to let me take Frankie, her little dachshund, because she gets so much attention. Everyone like stops and like comments on her dog. And like, I think it would do me well to just walk through the park with Frankie, and maybe I'll find my husband.
I don't feel like Samson helps me. I feel like Samson scares men away. They're like this bitch with a big ass dog.
Yeah, the dog's bigger than most of the men out there.
Yeah. And honestly, I like it.
Yeah, he's so cute. I want a dog so bad. I just don't think this apartment.
Or Noah.
Or Noah.
I'll speak for Noah and say that Noah's not having a dog in his space.
Chelsea just spent the entire weekend with Noah.
I did. He does not like me anymore, but we're cohabiting.
It's so weird because like I've had people over recently and they've been able to like pick him up.
This is annoying to hear.
I know, I'm sorry. Because you like take care of him.
I give him treats every single time I come.
Yeah.
And you guys, I'm telling you, he will come and rub his head up against my arm. Like he wants me to pet. But as soon as I do any like slight petting motion, attack. So I'm being baited. Mm-hmm. I'm being baited and switched.
Siri. This is
Chill out. She's like, you good? But we're working on it. I'm still doing my part.
Yeah. He'll come around eventually. It takes time. Time. You're only here once a week. You know, he needs some consistency in his life, and I get that.
I'm literally the same
True.
day every week.
True.
Whatever. Anyway, next.
Next.
You should have to pass a civics test to vote. I'm going to let you start here.
I kind of agree. I think you should. I mean, voting is definitely a right that. Let me start over. I don't know. Yes and no. I think you need to be you need to have some level of intelligence, because I don't think a lot of people understand like the value of a vote, because I think a lot of people, like, just as a great example, I think a lot of people don't understand how like the Supreme Court is put into place. And that's, you know, like right now the Supreme Court is heavily Republican because Donald Trump appointed all these people to the Supreme Court. And I don't think people understand how much weight the Supreme Court has into society. Mm-hmm. That's why we're seeing things like Roe v. Wade being overturned, how now employers can discriminate based on your sexual identity. I mean, abortion, I already said that. But like all these things are being taken away from us because of the Supreme Court. And I think a lot of people who voted Republican did just because they're a Republican. And like, I think a lot of them regret those things. Like, I don't think like I know some Republicans that have a lot of progressive thoughts, like, you know, they're not homophobic, they're not transphobic, you know, they believe that women should have the right to have an abortion, but they're the ones to ultimately blame for all this because you know what I mean? So yeah. With all that said, I think if people understood that, like, voting would be taken differently. So for that, yeah, I agree. I think you should at least have some level of education. That's I don't know what that is, because I'm not saying like you have to like go to college, because I don't think everyone needs to go to college.
Right.
I don't know.
But it could just be a test of just like how it all works. That made a little bit more sense to me because, as you know, and I'll disclose this, I Googled civics. I'm like, okay, what exactly? I get a roundabout idea of what that means, but what exactly does that mean? And it's like just like knowing your duties and rights as a citizen.
Yeah.
So yes. Don't we all take a government class?
Right.
So I feel like that breaks down like judicial, all the things. Do I remember everything from that class?
Yeah.
Probably not.
Right. But yeah, I get what you're saying. Like, and it doesn't need to be like the super, super hard test, but I do think there should be like a basic level of understanding of how it works. I don't think it should just be like, oh, you're 18, you get to vote. I think.
Yeah.
I didn't give that one much thought.
I didn't either. I definitely think probably smarter people should be voting, but maybe that's.
But also, like, think about like people, like immigrants who come to this country and they apply for a green card. They have to take a test about like American history and stuff,
and it's hard.
Yes, and I bet you the average American wouldn't know half that. I could not. Right. I don't know if I would pass. So I'm just like, just because I was born here, I get to like have access to all the great things that America has to offer, when like other people want to come here and work hard to have the same things, but they have to like study. It's like, I don't know. Like that's not the question, but like, so if they have to take a test, then we should take a test to vote.
Stay an American?
Yeah. We're getting kicked out of America.
Yeah. Honestly, give me the boot as long as I can get in somewhere else.
Yeah. Yeah. Where would you want to go?
I think that's where people are like, if you don't like America, then go then. And I'm like, okay, but I don't think you understand how hard it is to get a visa.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Nobody wants us either.
I'd go to Europe for sure. I don't know exactly where. I haven't been enough places.
Yeah.
But honestly, just toss me anywhere in Europe. I'll figure it out.
Probably, let's face it. You want to go to London or England.
I could.
You want a London boy.
I could. I think I could do it. I hear the weather is shit there, though. So.
Yeah, sure.
TBD.
Okay, we have one more controversial opinion. Do you want to read it?
It's narcissistic to have children you can't afford because you want to see a tiny version of you.
I kind of like earlier on the podcast, I said, like I question why people have kids. And I really do, because it's like you say you want to have kids. Why?
I feel like
because you're a narcissist. No, I'm kidding.
Part of it. That's why I donated my eggs. But part of it is there's like a purpose of like developing a new life. I think that sounds great. And then I also think about when I'm like old and on my own, I want like somebody to take care of me. I think of like Christmases. Like Christmases would feel so weird if I was just like the outsider in my brothers and sisters. Like obviously I would love to be a part of it, but if I didn't have my own like family and family traditions and things like that, I don't know. I get really nervous that I will regret that later in my life.
So it's about you.
It's about me. It's my maternal instinct.
But it's one of those things like we were talking about last week that like...
And I think I'd make a great fucking kid.
Yeah. I thought you were going to say... I thought you were going to say you'd make a great mother.
I kind of think I would.
I think you would too.
Okay.
I think you'd be
like, stop laughing.
But I thought you like messed up when you said, I'd make a great kid. I'm like, wait, don't you mean mother?
Yeah, that too.
That's kind of essential. Which I mean, I think that it is essential. And I feel like some people forget about that part. Like they want to have a kid, but like they're not equipped to be like the best parent.
Right.
Because people just like want kids. And I don't get it. Like if you're not
It's also hard for me to answer this question because just like knowing all of my nieces and nephews, literally all 6 of me and my siblings were mistakes. Pretty much all of my nieces and nephews, aside from my oldest sister, were mistakes. So like for me reading this, I'm like, oh, people plan their kids.
Yeah, that's true. But yeah, I don't know. I just like, it's just like a thing I always think of, like, why, like, just like genuinely, like, why do people have kids besides the fact that they want to? And maybe that's a good enough reason right there, because they want to.
Right.
That's fine. But I don't know. I just think it's like so much work. And I mean, people have to have kids. Otherwise, you know, the population will go away. But I think too many people have kids.
Right.
We don't need all these people.
Yeah. I think a good reason to have kids would be to like, yeah, it's like adding value to your life.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, you don't know the kid yet. You can't say it's about the kid.
Yeah.
You don't know him.
Yeah. He might be a piece of shit.
He might not want to be here.
Yeah. I know. Like, what the hell? Like, it's so selfish to have kids, and you put them in this world, and then they have to like freaking pay rent and shit.
Figure it out.
I did not ask for any of this. Anyhow, I'm so happy to be here. Thank you for sticking with us.
Wow, what a pod.
What a podcast. I'm not even sure if it's even going to work because I've heard some technical difficulties along the way. But if you made it this far, then...
Promise we get better.
It only goes up from here. But no, we should check out the studio for next week.
Yeah.
I
will also be gone until Wednesday.
So we need to discuss some things.
We have some things to discuss.
Okay. But yeah, we'll be going into a studio to test it out in the next couple of weeks. But in the meantime, stop this video right now. And if you're not subscribed to the YouTube channel, subscribe right now.
Do it right now.
Yeah.
Go to YouTube. You all have it.
Yeah. Yeah, because I know there are people that are watching that aren't subscribed. And we need more subscribers.
And on that note, see you later.
Bye.
Well, see you later. What's that off of?
I don't know.
Big gulps, huh? Well, see you later. Whatever. Someone help Bryan out.